Next up, our sixth startup, Adam Dragic with C Carbon Zero.
Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name's Adam Dragic, founder and CEO of C Carbon Zero. Question to start with. How many of you here today are feeling the pressure of sustainability reporting, but you don't have the time or the tools in place to even know where to start? Right? We hear this so often nowadays. This newfound requirement in the hospitality space is really starting to cause some headaches. And where do you get this from? Clients, investors, platforms? And then the question is, how do we fix this? It's complicated and it takes time. And now it's even getting a little bit harder with the requirement for not only Scope 1 and Scope 2, but also Scope 3 reporting. In 2025, we've seen the game change. Sustainability is now becoming much bigger than what we've seen in the previous few years. ESG, reporting on ESG, is now becoming not so much of a nice to have, but a must have. Even though the federal laws have really laxed since the end of last year, we're seeing a real push from the mandated reports in some of the states. In more than 5 states now, we're getting mandation. And that's in New York, California, Illinois, and even some cities like Minneapolis. Energy reporting at a building level is now starting to become more required. And that's getting us real close to mandated reporting across the board. Current ESG reporting, we see a lot of it, and at the moment, in a lot of cases, it's a real mess. It's fragmented and it takes up time that people don't have. Imagine trying to introduce new staff just to do this. And then not only that, because it's a manual, a lot of it's in spreadsheets, the data accuracy is unknown. So producing the reports on the back end really make people nervous if it's in a situation where it's required. That's where we come in, C Carbon Zero. We just make it real simple. Technology is where we start. We've got software that automates your carbon tracking. It automates reports. The software then moves into strategy and it starts giving you options and ways in which you can reduce and build in place roadmaps to sustainability and towards net zero. Then after that, we can spend more time on optimization and bring into account reduction in your emissions, and the software will always produce an underlying ROI on how much it's going to save you when you reduce your emissions. Our platform was built for hotels. One platform, multiple properties, all in one dashboard. Whether or not you've got one hotel or you're a global empire, we can bring it together and you can report all in one place. And our pricing echoes that. Our pricing, if you've got one location or multiple locations, we ensure that we make it flexible. Our software, simple, you can see there, step 1 through to 5. We connect with your data, we upload it, we verify it, and then we get you into reduction strategies. So we're built in Australia, and we've been in the States for the last 6 months. We do have people on board already using our technology, Best Western, Bridgerton, and we've got a case study with Dawn Ranch, California, where we had them Green Key certified within 3 months. I look forward to speaking to you.
Thank you, Adam. Another person, American English as a second language, so good job up there. Judges.
So I think what we missed was the slide on, so how does it work?
The software or what we do?
The software.
So the software, we use global protocols and we have spend data uploaded. So every line item that's in your current accounting package will then either be uploaded through an API into our system, or we can download it. If you don't want to connect, we can download it into a CSV and upload it into our system. Initially, it's a spend data, and then we'll overlay it with activity data.
just to add to that. So, you said built in Australia, moved to the States. What is your scope? Because, for example, when you say that it's the spend data, different utility bills come in different formats. How is it that you actually make sense of it in order to get the right, analysis?
Sure. So the uploading of the data comes from initially, as you say, spend data. There's protocols that will convert how much you've spent in a certain scenario into what your carbon emission output is. And then when it comes to activity, then we've got scanning devices which will see exactly what, if we use, for example, you mentioned electricity, if we use a flight, you could spend $10,000 on one flight from Australia to America, and that one flight would be very different if you spent $10,000 across 10 flights. So we'll break it down on an invoice-by-invoice basis. So initially the data that comes out will be the early stage data, and then we improve on it over time. It's AI software, so each month that we're running it, it'll then improve over time and remember the previous functionality that we've put into it.
So is it like a direct kind of translation into carbon emissions, or I'm still trying to get my head around how you actually get to the usable figure, or,
Yeah, sure. So every single line item on your expenditure turns into an emission.
Okay.
And so that gets totaled and gives you your baseline for your scope 1, scope 2 energy you referred to, and then scope 3 also, which is your supply network.
Okay, thank you.
Two-part question. One is implementation time and complexity, and then the second part is, and then how long from implementation to really seeing a real benefit, kind of ROI?
Implementation time is definitely dependent on complexity, as you said. We've had situations where within 1 to 2 weeks, we can have the baseline foundation of what your carbon emissions are. And sorry, what was your second question?
The second question is, okay, so now I've installed it. Then you start moving towards optimization. How long
Sure.
is that? Is that a month? Is it a week? Is it?
So optimization is two sides. One is certification, and the other is reduction of carbon emissions. Certifications can be done within 1 to 2 months, depending on what the certification is. And then the other is reduction in emissions. And that's really where we come in at the end. We've been in the game for 15 years, and we will have a look at where your quick wins are. We underline carbon reduction with ROIs. Depends on the hotel's situation as to whether or not they want to do it and spend money, or they just want to attack the wins where they're going to save money first.
Thank you.
So are you measuring, is there like a hardware component to this, or is it?
It's cloud-based software.
Okay. And you're measuring and you're taking your data from building management systems? Or how are you capturing?
Your accounting package.
From the accounting?
Accounting package, so we download spend data, and that translates into a carbon emission.
Okay, great, thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam, with C Carbon Zero.